let's just take this all in for a minute. Let's go ahead and take in every bit of the last time we spoke, which, oh my God, how many months has that been? I think the last time we've had our conversations, it's been since about, I don't know, somewhere around June. Somewhere around back when we thought that 2020 might get a little bit better. Wrong. Didn't happen. We've been on a roller coaster ride. Look, people, I'm excited to say this. Welcome back to Best Man Made. I'm your guy, Virtual OG Mac. Listen, man, I know right now this is a different setup, right? I thought since it's been so long and I had so much to say, we got to do this bad boy in like a different style, okay? So the way we're going to do this now is I got this whole thing. I want to go long format with this. You know, let's sit back, let's have a conversation. You get you nice something to drink. Now, I got a few things, but I got a few options. You know, I'm always going to have my Uncle nearest. I haven't cracked this bottle yet, but I plan to crack this bottle pretty soon. Being sparing with this right now, though. Simply because, man, look, when you at home, you're quarantining, you don't want to just start doing this a little bit too much, all right? So you got to be sparing with it. It's premium. Take your time with it. Right now, I got a nice little, what is this? CBD turmeric ginger tea. Listen, I don't work for the company. I'm just letting you know what I'm sipping on right now. I've been getting my training on, man. I'm looking a little juicy right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking a little swole. And you might say, Mac, how you swole me? What's going on, man? You're not really in the gym, are you? Look, people, I can't be out. I'm quarantining hard. If you don't remember, I got a young infant in the house now. Okay? My son is about 8 months. Can't be in the gym, so I had to transform my garage into a gym. And a lot of y'all did that. We're going to talk about all this stuff, man. We're going to get into it. I got a lot to say. Roll it. I think I saw it best. This one cat, man, I was on, I don't remember what I was looking at. Somebody wrote 2020, a movie. I love how he wrote it, though. He didn't write 2020 is like a movie, or man, 2020, feels like a movie. He put 2020 a movie. You know, people say, man, 2020 a movie. That's exactly what this has felt like. A roller coaster, a movie. I don't even know what's going on, people. Look, I was hoping, I'm telling you straight up, man, I was seriously hoping that we could be able to have more conversation and communication. I don't know really what I was thinking, because as time progressed, okay, I said that back in, I'm telling you, that had to be like June, I think. And I was like, yeah, we're gonna stay in touch. We're gonna get this thing going. And then one thing after the next, after the next, after the next. And you talking about rolling with the punches. I've been spending my time just trying to remain sane up in this joint. I'm pretty sure most of you are pretty much in the same kind of boat. Oh my goodness. If I had to kind of sum this bad boy up, okay, let's go ahead and let's look at the bigger picture, okay? Let's look at the bigger picture right now. So 2020, a movie, the bigger picture, if I can put this down into a nutshell, into one word, all the craziness that has come about, I can't even begin to talk about the political implications. I don't even want to talk politics. That's one thing I don't do. I ain't talking politics, all right? You want to hear politics, you better go to a different channel. I can't do it. I got politics coming out my ears. And that's ridiculous. But if I can sum this up in one small packaged word, if you didn't take anything else, we're at the beginning of October right now. So if you didn't take anything else from daggone February to now, the one thing you should take is this one word. You like how your boy Mac breaks it down to one word. I got to do it like that. I got to put it into one small little capsule, one little morsel that you could just bite on and be like, that's exactly what I thought I was going to taste. That word, my friends, is adapt. It's a beautiful word. Mac, you coming with these poetic, beautiful words, man. I mean, what's going on, man? What exactly do you mean by adapt? Well, let me tell you, people. Adapt, man, is exactly what I think this has been for everyone. Now, you got to think about it like this. In terms of evolution, right? We're going to turn my phone off because somebody bound to hit your boy up. In terms of evolution, mankind, if you go back to the whole apes concept, I mean, if you want to do that, that's on you. But if you want to go back to the caveman and just prehistoric man, evolution has definitely taken place, right? In people. But it's happened over hundreds, thousands, daggone millions of years. But in 2020, a movie, we've had to adapt in a matter of months. Look, man, I'm trying to tell you, everything that has been taking place has made you have to look at it twice over. Okay? Look at me, for example. Right now, I'm rocking the cap. True, it's a Letsgetmade cap. I love this cap. It feels good and everything. But I got 2 afros up underneath this, underneath this cap. I need 2 haircuts. I need to get a haircut, and then after I'm done getting a haircut, you need to say, okay, give me another haircut. Okay? I have gotten, since we have been in quarantine, I've got my haircut once. Okay? I've only had 1 haircut. That was back in July. So, whatever. Nobody's going to see me right now. I mean, we're going to do this. We got video going. I'm going to tell you that. That's a whole other thing how I got the video going today. I mean, I like this. This feels good, right? This is kind of like talkative with my man Overtime Chris, which Overtime Chris and I are talking. You know, Overtime Chris, man. I mean, I'm not going to. Yeah, I got to tell the news. Chris just had another kid. You talking about fertile. My man's got the juice. But anyway, we'll talk about that another time. You know, hopefully me and Chris get on this thing and start doing some more talkative, which I miss, you know. But back to being, when I'm talking about adapt and evolution. Listen, for 2020, people have had to adapt at such a quick rate. I'm talking extremely fast for some people. Now, for a lot of people, man, listen, this is nothing new under the sun. You know, whether we're talking about health, because one thing that COVID, you know, made you think is not so much, I mean, it's so many little things in it, man. I ain't gonna front, man. There's so many things I can really break out when it comes to COVID. But the one thing it did make you want to focus on or think about is your overall health, right? You know, and that's something Letsgetmade has always been a big thing for me, man, talking about health and fitness and all these things. But your overall health has become such a big concern for a lot of people simply because those that are really having to deal with this in a much more tough scenario is due to underlying health issues that they've already had, right? And those health issues that they've already been battling with possibly could have been avoided had they had a more healthier lifestyle. Now, that's not everybody, right? Some people just, the conditions are the conditions, I get it. But some people, things like, you know, obesity, high blood pressure, these are things that could have been taken care of earlier. Come on, Mac, what you saying, man? You trying to say it's their fault? I ain't saying it to I ain't trying to put it out there like that, but I'm just saying, if you think about it, that's really the issue, right? If we could have been doing our Letsgetmade, making moves, doing what we got to do, we would have been already on our grind, making sure that we looking good and we looking tight, we feeling good, and we out running, we getting our jog on, we lifting them weights, we out there getting swole up, you know what I'm saying? And if we were doing that, and we were focused like that, well, we might not be so much in the position where we got to be so extra careful with it. Now, I got, like I said, I got an infant. I got 2 kids up in the house. I'm not trying to, you know, the worst thing for me to do is be like, oh man, I wanted to go out and hang with the fellas, so, you know, I didn't wear my mask or did whatever. Nah, see, that ain't gonna happen. Okay, your boy Mac is quarantining hard. Like I said, 1 haircut. I'm hoping for haircut number 2 soon. We'll see how that goes. But in the meantime, man, it don't really matter. You know, haircut's a haircut. I mean, there was some cats that was up in arms, mad because they couldn't get haircuts. Was just, I mean, a trip. You know what I'm saying? You better give me a haircut. That's actually a whole nother thought process. I thought I would never see anything like that. You know, I mean, look, I get mad when I can't go to my barber. My barber tells me, yo, Mac, man, I got, 2 people ahead of you or can't get you today. I mean, I'm kind of like, dang. But the last thing I thought about is getting strapped up in that piece, being like, nah, brother, you going to give me a haircut. I mean, it's kind of wild stuff. But I think the whole picture I'm trying to paint right here, the bigger picture, is when it comes to adapting for your situation. That takes a certain amount of, I don't know, mental focus, understanding, where you can say, look, the one reason why we have to adapt is because one thing is inevitable, and that thing is change. Things change. Okay, people? For some reason, there's so many people that are struggling with change, and they don't want to change. All right? We out here talking about so many things in politics. We talking about, Black Lives Matter, social, which is so strange. I don't even know why people think Black Lives Matter is a political thing. I can't figure that out. But again, I ain't talking about politics. Social, human things, you know what I mean? Just, my being black is not because of the political affiliation I have. I mean, it is literally something I was definitely born with that I'm very proud to be. But the whole point I'm trying to get at is this. When we're talking about change, people, a lot of times change is tough. I find this kind of funny because I do, let me not even go there, man. That's change. If you think about it, we all think, oh, it's easy, let's go for it, whatever, right? Let me give you a good example, right? I already have a baby. My little girl, she's 6 years old now. I had her when she was a kid, and I was like, yeah, man. I mean, when I remember going through that process, and that was tough because that was very new to us. Now having another son, having to go back to that change yet again, it's almost like I forgot about it. But I'm still having to go through it again, and that part is very hard. Let me give you another example. That I think is interesting. And this is why I'm trying to tell you how some people really struggle with change because they're trying to hold on to something that ain't there no more. Let me explain. I don't know about you guys, but see, I remember back when I was born, when I was younger, I come up in a time where, I do recall when you could go to certain establishments and there would be cigarette smoke in these establishments and it wouldn't be illegal. I mean, now you go into a location and you light up a cigarette, man, you might, they might take you down. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they're going to break through like SWAT on you. You know what I'm saying? So the big thing about it is this. I think when you think about how it was at a certain time, I mean, like I have this beautiful recollection. It's a beautiful memory of going back to pool halls, billiards. Back when I was young, I'm talking, I first started being able to drink legally. I just recall going into these pool halls and just the vibe of it all, right? You got the playboys up there trying to holler at somebody, what's going on, baby? You got that. You got the ladies getting off the job. They really don't want to hear all that, but they down for it because they just want to get a nice little drink. You got, your boy coming fresh off the job, unbuttoned collar, unloosened tie. You got the music playing. It's normally like some nice little R&B in the background. You hear the balls, in the background, and it's just filled with these billows of cigarette smoke. Now, I've never been a cigarette smoker myself, man. It's just never really took to me. But I do recall that vibe, and it's almost nostalgic. It's a nostalgic memory for me. To the point that now, if I were to go into a pool hall and it's not smoky, it feels strange to me. Okay? Hear my son up there just yelling. You might hear him yelling, but if you do, hey, look, that's part of this thing. We are, I mean, hell, it's COVID, right? I mean, everybody's home, so kids up there wilding out. But my whole point is this. I recall that memory. I recall how that looked and how that felt. And in some ways, I hold on to that. And I miss it and I want it. Even though I know right now the last thing I want to do is be in a smoke-filled, cancer-causing place, right? I mean, we don't want to be around that. We've said as a society, as a world, look, cigarette smoke is bad. If you're around it, get away, you're going to die, okay? So we've made moves to kind of get away from that for certain reasons, and those reasons I'm sure are good reasons, right? But there's still a lot of people that miss it. They're nostalgic for it. They want to hold on to it so much that when you take it from them, it's met with aggression, right? You're taking away my memories. You're taking away my preciousness. You're taking away my happiness. And this ain't got nothing to do with you. It's got to do with the people. It's got to do with evolving, adapting to change, right? That's what I'm trying to tell you. And I think that is where people are having their struggle. They can't adapt. All right. For those right now that's thinking, okay, man, look, I got to start getting fit. You know, I need to start working out. I need to start running, doing all these things. And they're trying to do all these programs. I mean, this is the reason why you can't get fitness equipment. Anybody out there try to buy dumbbells lately? Good God. I mean, I saw, man, look, I'm not kidding you. I saw a set of 35-pound dumbbells going for $180. Okay? 35-pound dumbbell. If you had some dumbbells and you want to come up on some dough right now, you could be making the green. You could be out here funding Best Man Made. Who knows? Your commercial could go right here. My whole point is this. Now everybody is trying to figure out what and where to be. No, another thing, right, with Adapt. Black Lives Matter, the big movement that came out. Finally, people are realizing, you know what, people are people. You know, you've been doing people wrong for a minute. You got to find a way to get that equity back up. And a lot of businesses doing a little black, you know, tile or, you know, writing this big, beautiful thing up. Black Lives Matter, you know, we're in this together. Yeah. So, the thing about that is that's nice and pretty and hopeful and everything, but soon, very soon, people are going to start looking for receipts. Let me tell you that right now. You can adapt and saying, yeah, you down for the change and all that, but when we start asking for them receipts, what have you done? What did you do? A post is nice, but if you didn't really put any actions into play, it's going to be kind of tough for you. So please make sure you're thinking about what you're doing. Don't just go along with things because you think, oh yeah, this is what I should do or whatever. Good God, my son got lungs on him. Y'all can't hear it, man. That joker just screamed for, I think, 30 seconds straight. Okay? Okay. Another huge thing when it comes to adapting right now is education. I'm talking to all the parents out there with young kids. Let's go there first. How many of y'all right now have become like new teachers or teachers' assistants? Okay? Let me explain something. For those that don't have kids or young kids in school right now, don't have to worry about this. Let me explain why it's such an issue. Okay? My daughter is in the first grade. First. Okay? Elementary school. First grade. She's going to school doing Zoom. Sounds good. Sounds easy. When I first heard it, yeah, let's do it. Let's make it happen. She's got to go for each different class to a different Zoom meeting, which means there's a different password. There's a different meeting ID throughout the day. So while you down here trying to work, take care of young Nuck up there who's about to, you know, just screaming his head off, needing milk, needing all this stuff. You're doing all that. You're trying to keep your sanity. You own a job piece. You got to get her from class to class. Now listen, man, education, I'm going to tell you something. It is about to adapt. The entire construct of education, I think not only in this country, but pretty much around the world, it's in a flux right about now, okay? What I mean by that is exactly what I'm trying to say. There's going to have to come a time where virtual education is going to be pretty normal. Remember people used to get homeschooled? You like, man, you homeschooled, man? You kind of thought, you know, that sound kind of weird that they were homeschooled. Like, oh, here come the homeschool kids. You know, maybe it wasn't that bad. But I'm just saying, when people were homeschooled, it was looked at a different way. And now, homeschool is exactly, it's what it is. It's the norm, right? We're choosing definitely to homeschool because even when they saying, oh, yeah, come on to school, you know, be fine, everything. Nah, bruh. Y'all go ahead. Okay, we good. Don't get me wrong. It ain't easy over here, but you know, nah, we good. So my whole point about it is, man, I think that homeschooling going forward is going to become such an issue simply because I believe that people would start looking at things a little bit different. Okay? I think that now we're going to say, for one, man, I hope they do this too, because I'm in the process of buying a new home. I hope it don't matter. Think if it didn't matter the zone you lived in, you can go to any school you wanted to, because you're doing it virtually. Oh my God. Mac, are you talking about something that might make you want to run for president? I mean, heck no. But I'm saying, think if you didn't have to worry about the school zone you in to go to a particular school, because school is virtual. It reminds me of a book. For you non-bookie people out there, I don't want to throw you off, but it reminds me of a good book, Ready Player One. Now the movie didn't really show you this, but if you go into the book, Ready Player One told you that kids went to school through like a video game kind of concept, right? Virtually. They went to Planet Ludus. Yeah, I know it's kind of different, but in this particular environment, the whole area was just a big school, a bunch of schools. And you can go into it, you can communicate with people, you couldn't really fall asleep in class. Like they had ways of making it so that you were engaged, but you couldn't cheat the system. I loved it. Very smart way of doing it. Speaking of which, Ready Player 2, the new book, is coming out in November. Go figure, right? So if you like that movie, definitely check that out. So I really like that concept, but I think that's yet another construct, another thing that we're going to have to look at and find a way to adapt, right? Education. We're having to adapt with education right now. We're having to adapt with physical fitness. We need to start adapting to the change and the realities of things, right? One thing I mean by that exactly is you got to make a shift in how you're doing things. When I'm talking about shifting, okay? When I'm saying this, man, look, you got to shift your priorities right now. The way you might have done something before, thought about something before in the past, you might think about it as completely different now. Okay? One thing that's come up lately in my household is our shifting of priorities when it comes to spending dough. Listen, people, let me explain something. Do you know how much money you spent before the pandemic? I'm talking going out, right? Getting drinks, getting food, buying stuff, getting your wardrobe right. Now, all of a sudden, man, listen, those things are kind of going to the wayside. You're not all out there mixing up, making moves, doing what you got to do. You ain't being seen so much. And I found this kind of interesting, even on my own personal, right? As much as I like to style and profile and look fly and do my thing, I'm not wearing the things that I would wear normally. Think about it, like cologne. I'm a cologne dude. I always say you got to look good, you got to feel good, and you got to smell good. But I will tell you something. I have lately gone a whole nother route. There's this company up here in Maryland called Perfume Chick. I actually have become a fan. My wife put me on. Actually, I think before her, my sister-in-law put my wife on, which put me on. You know how it go. But I got, you get these fragranced, is that the way you want to, is that how you say it? Fragranced lotions? That sounds really nice. Fragranced lotions. Fragranced lotions. I don't think that's how you say it. But basically what it is it's like whipped shea butter with like oils in it that smell, I'm talking amazing. Now here's the thing, people. You want to make sure your skin looks good. Because right, you don't want to come out all crispity and crunchity. You want to make sure your skin looks radiant. Okay? If you're not out there getting all the vitamin D like you should be, you got to make sure your body looks good and you feel good. So you need to put lotion on anyway. I don't care what race you are. I remember this, man, back in the day. People said, man, only black folks use lotion. If that's the case, the rest of y'all got some crispity, crunchity skin. I think that now people have gotten a little bit more hip to that to know, man, everybody, the skin, the body, ain't this the biggest living cell in your whole system or whatever, or living organism on the human body, your skin. But you got to take care of it. Putting on shea butter, a nice fragrance on it, you're good to go. Because the cologne can dry you out. You can't be spraying that on every day. I'm holding my kid. He don't want cologne up on him. You know what I'm saying? It ain't going to happen the same way. So things had to change. I had to shift how I did my style. How I did my whole vibe. Not only that, I like rocking my t-shirts. I've always liked rocking my Letsgetmade gear. But that's pretty much the only gear I'm rocking now. I'll be daggone if I'm wearing a button up over here while I'm on Microsoft Teams. Okay, it ain't gonna happen. So we've changed some things up, and you realize your style. I think at this time what you're realizing is who you are stylishly or fashionably is who you are, right? Like, think about it. If nobody's there to see you, how would they know how you rocking your style, right? So now it's all about just what do you want? How do you want to do it? And I love that because it's putting people on to, you know what, man? Let me stop doing all this other foo-foo-y stuff and just start sticking to what I like. You're starting to turn the volume down on other people and turn the volume up on yourself and your family. Because right now, that's the gorgeous thing about this, right? You get a chance to spend time with people that you know and you love and you're close to and you're near and dear to, and it matters. Then on the flip side of that, yeah, they probably driving you nuts. They probably making it so that, you're like, man, can I just have 10 minutes? You go into the bathroom a little bit longer just to kind of sit in there and hide for a second. Who knows, right? Or taking them long showers, man. Your heat bill gonna be high just from a long shower. That's how it is, at least in some households. But I'm gonna say this: I think that the beautiful thing of what I'm seeing is this shift in priorities has not only happened in the home front and your livelihood, but that's leaked over into just how you move, right? It's leaked over into how you move so much that I'm telling you, it's leaked over to how I'm going to move with Let's Get Made. Now, I'll be honest with you, man. I was ticked off when I could not get my backdrop for Best Man Made. I told you I had to change my whole office situation during the pandemic, and I had gone out, I had ordered like a little backdrop because I had changed my wall. It was different. Ready to rock. They never came, man. I was talking to my homegirl, Kennedi. Look, shout out to Kennedi. Kennedi, look, has held down Let's Get Made since daggone, March? Somewhere in there. When I announced that Let's Get Made was coming back, Kennedi had to hold it down because I was simply, too much was going on. Son act like all of a sudden, when 2020 hit, he came, pandemic is going on. We were like, okay, we're going to start sleep training this joker. My son did not go for it. My daughter, 8 weeks, slept like an angel. 10, 12 hours straight. My son now is 8 months. I'm happy if that joke can do 2.5 hours. Okay? Your boy Mac, look, if I'm not out here drinking this right now to keep me up and perked, I'm trying to tell you, I'll be a walking zombie. My son is against sleep training. He's anti-sleep training. He's already on the grind. He's trying to get out there and get made at 8. Okay, and then the thing about it is this: he'll go to at 8 months. The joker will wake up, right, 2.5 hours into it, and only drink 1 ounce. Now, parents are already gonna tell you this: nah, Chief, when you are asleep and you wake up, normally you gotta drink a lot so you can stay asleep. He like, nah, man, look, I don't want to be, I don't want to be out here sleep. You know what I'm saying? You out here sleeping, I ain't trying to be sleeping. Y'all tripping, y'all out here missing your opportunity. I mean, he act like he got a job. Okay? So when all this happened, man, I'm talking about changing, having to make a shift. I got my homegirl Kennedi to come in, and Kennedi, man, has blown it out the park. Kennedi came in, did post, kept Let's Get Made up and running. And she's been doing it since, and she's doing a heck of a good job. I mean, and I've seen a lot of people do that. We created the Inner Circle, and the Inner Circle, shout out to the Inner Circle. One of the key people from that was Hershe. Hershe came in, really, chopped it up with me and was like, Mac, okay, let's figure out how we can start doing more Best Man Made or more Let's Get Made stuff. And I was all here for it. But then life kept happening. Kids, news, coronavirus, deadly caterpillars. It's just been unreal, man. Like stuff that you just like, man, can't get, come on, like we good, like or you get ahead on something and then something else pops in and you just like, you gotta be kidding me. So having to roll with the punches has been kind of rough, but at the same rate, I said, let me figure out a way I can come in and really chime in with the people. How can I connect with the people right now? And I think this is it, the big picture, long format. I can get down, I can talk, I can hit record and I can go. One thing about me is I don't have to have a lot of write-up. I just like to talk. I can get out here and just chop it up with you. I'm your virtual OG. Why not? This is what we got to do. This is how we communicate. So changing out how I would do things with Let's Get Made wasn't only this long format I'm bringing to you now, which we will get some more guests to come in and pop up and we'll chime in with them. But it's also going forward. If we're truly trying to get made, it can't be just about muscles, right? And cardio. And even, I mean, it just can't be about just, the gym as much, man, which is what Let's Get Made was really built on in a lot of ways. It's got to be about a little bit more. And that's why I brought in health, wealth, and happiness. We're going to have to chop it up about money. We got to chop it up when we're talking about building a financial foundation that's going to help sustain you, help build you. And I think, the young cats, the millennials and the ones younger than that, I don't even know what you call what do you call the ones under millennials or the younger ones? I don't even know, who knows? But anyway, those jokers are on how to make their money, how to make their money sustainable, how to manage it. So talk about things like that in a much more sexy way. Because I think, there's times I'm listening to people talking about money and I'm like, look, I appreciate the information, but I was bored to tears. Can you give me the cliff notes? I don't even know what you just said. Okay? Home ownership. Those are good things that we want to talk about in a creative, sexy way. But at the same rate, one thing I really want to do is help build those industries or practices that have been overlooked or not touched as much. For example, I come from a visual arts background, right? For those that don't know, I was big in visual arts for a very long time. That's how I got into doing what I do now. I need to help those that are in visual arts to just get out there a little bit more, because everybody now, man, on every channel or every page, it's all self-promotion. I get it. That's what this is all about. But I like connecting with folk. I like making things happen. I like seeing bigger pictures. See, I brought it back to the bigger picture, right? I like doing things like that because I want to be able to see a change, right? A shift. And so taking Let's Get Made and finding that platform, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm looking for visual artists. I'm looking for those that are talented and good at what they do. So if you're nice and you're good at what you do, hit your boy Mac up. But that's more to come on that a little bit later. So I want you to look at this time while you're adapting and look at this time and say, it's time for me to make a shift in my priorities. I like that. That sound like something, right? Maybe not 2020. If you missed it, then, look, you only got a couple more months left for 2020. Hopefully it changes in 2021, but it ain't going to change but so much, at least in the beginning. But once you make that shift, it's going to help out because then things are going to become a lot easier. Like right now, man, after about, I'm going to say 4 or 5, quarantining got a little bit easier. You kind of got used to it in a way. And I think that's most people. At first you're going to fight it tooth and nail, but then after a while you get used to it. You build your own little system. You're playing around it. You're good to go. So I think now going towards the 2021 mark, you'll be able to see things that you kind of already started doing aren't going to be so hard, going forward. And you're going to see, I think, how you probably wasted your money and your time in a lot of ways before all this kind of forced you to do it. So, I don't know. Just a thought. Okay. This brings me to an interesting topic for today. Lately, what I'm hearing is that for some odd reason, people are talking about canceling Halloween. Look, I know that might not be the most important topic right now, but I find it's very unusual and kind of interesting and in some ways humorous to talk about because Halloween, out of all the holidays in the year, is the only holiday where you are totally fine to wear a mask. And you're talking about during 2020, everybody's like, man, look, you can go back to school, you can even go to these restaurants, you can go eat, you can go to the club, you can do all this stuff, but Halloween, man, trick or treat, nah, we got to cancel that. Good God. I mean, what? Out of all things you could cancel, why Halloween? Not that I'm not even a big Halloween guy. I will say this. One thing we got to remember is that most of these holidays are for the kids anyway. I mean, pretty much, or family or whatever it might be. And I'm going to tell you this. My daughter is a huge Halloween fan. Okay? The girl has been thinking about her outfit since the last Halloween. That's kind of how she goes down, which most kids do, right? They want to think about how are they going to I mean, dressing up has always been a fun thing for kids, right? So, and even big kids, we love doing it too. Me, not so much. I probably do something, but whatever. So, when the discussion was, man, we should cancel it, I thought about it for a minute. There's been certain people that have always canceled Halloween. Now, I don't know about y'all has been in the neighborhoods you were growing up in and, when you were a kid, but I do recall the houses that didn't want to participate just cut their lights out. Made it look like they weren't there. You know what I'm saying? They didn't want to give out candy, so they cut all the lights out, man. Make sure nobody come to this house. And that's fine. You know what I mean? I'm gonna skip that house, right? The house is all darked out. What's the point, right? You don't go there. It's enough people that's participating, you go to those houses. Not only that, if you really didn't want people to come into your house, some people, used to put the bucket out. They put all the candy in it. They put the bucket out like in front of their driveway. You just go in the front driveway, you pick it up. You're supposed to get, they always say like, take one piece. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. However, I'm not saying I didn't take one piece. I'm just saying that, and I hope that my kids and your kids will be smart enough to do, follow the rules. Take one piece, get one piece, go ahead. Leave some for other people. But I do recall, like, I would put my one arm in there, okay? And whatever my one arm brought back was like, that was the one, And so you could do it that way. Now, I wasn't like them other kids, man. Them other kids, man, them hood kids, man, they come through there, they see that bucket, they grab that whole bucket and just dump that joint in the bag, man, and be out. You know what I'm saying? They done in one hit. But I'm saying there's ways to participate or not. I always thought that they always existed anyway. So if you didn't want to be involved with Halloween, just don't cut your lights on. Or put the candy out front. Do whatever you want to do, but let the kids do their thing. I mean, if they're wearing masks, I wouldn't say walk out there in groups whatever. I mean, the way we gonna do it, it's just gonna be us. Like I said, I'm quarantining hard, so if we do this, I don't know how we're gonna really pull it off. We might go like as soon as it starts getting dark. Like we might go out at like 6. When people just like, man, pulling up, from the job piece, like, yo, trick or treat. But I think if you do it, and you want to be really safe with it, just wear the mask. You can't be out there as long as you would have been out there before, but get out, have fun, man. I mean, I think during these times, you're trying to find ways to create your own humor, to create your own fun. One thing about people, I saw there's a couple people that I would follow on social media, and this is why I had to take a hiatus. And everything feels like, fear. Right? Oh my God, man! There's the police are out. The SWAT's out. I mean, and it's just like, man, God, I don't want to do nothing. I hope you got your guns, man. Get your gun. I mean, it's a lot, and that stress. And I get it, man. Don't be wrong. I get where it's coming from. I understand all that, but the stress of these matters can pull you down. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I'm telling you this: find ways to find the humor, the levity, the positivity in your life, and create ways of doing that. Right? So for example, I look at things and I'm looking towards them and saying, look, what am I going to do next to bring some more life, some more pizzazz? So if Halloween is one of those things, get out there, do it, man. Mix it up. Make it happen. Enjoy yourself, right? Be safe while you do it, but enjoy yourself. Now, I'm going to tell you this. There's two things I'm looking forward to right now. Now, this goes back to my quarantining type of ways, but they both happen to be things that are coming on TV. But let me talk about this for a second. BET Hip Hop Awards. They're coming on October 27th. Listen, BET did their, I think, video awards or whatever. They just had something they did a couple months ago. Did a great job. Absolutely surprised at how amazing they did. I think Amanda Seales hosted it. She's all right. Man, she got some funny remarks here and there. But they did an amazing job on it. And I was really excited to see how they pulled it off. I really loved it. But the BET Hip Hop Awards is coming on. And the funny thing is this, man. Before quarantine, I probably didn't listen to, I never listened to the radio. You know what I'm saying? When I would get in my car driving, I normally listen to podcasts. But the last thing I listened to is the radio. So a lot of new music I really didn't know. I didn't really hear a lot of it, right? It wasn't until I got my garage gym popping. And it's popping. I mean, it's small. I got a little 1-car garage, but that 1-car garage, but I done stocked that joint. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do a little video over there and show you my little workout, man. That's pretty dope. But you know, I was able to start watching more music videos because when I'm in there, you know, training, you know, I got a little TV mounted up there and I played like they got like hip hop 2020 mix or something like that, right? So I'm looking at all these videos, and the more I watch it, the more I was like, okay, I kind of mess with some of these cats. Like some people, you know, because they all kind of sound kind of similar right about now. I mean, I hate to say it. I mean, it's a fact. It is what it is, and maybe that's just me being old school. But I'm gonna say, for the longest, I couldn't differentiate one artist over the next. You know, I knew Future. You know, I knew Future. I knew Drake. You know, Rich, whatever, man. You know, the baby, little baby, all the babies. You know, I knew, and that's one thing about the babies. I originally, and I'm gonna say this, man. This is. I'm gonna be honest. I originally shot down anything with baby in it because I think after I saw Baby Boy with Tyrese, you know what I'm saying, my mindset was like, golly, man, it's kind of true, man. We are a group of people that just don't want to be grown men. We want to be babies, you know. And I kind of was against a lot of this stuff, man. I mean, just mentally, I would cut it off. You know what I'm saying? I would, you know, to each his own. But our just fascination with being a baby, you know, was interesting. And I kind of just I just kind of blocked a lot of that off of my brain. Now, I shouldn't have, because I'll be honest, man. I am a little baby and the baby fan. You know what I'm saying? I want to put them all together, but, you know, the fact they got both baby in their name, dude, you know, I already like Drip Too Hard. So Lil Baby, I like the voice, I like the delivery, it's all there. But the baby being from Charlotte, you know, it is good to see somebody rep your area. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, he's Charlotte, I'm Greensboro originally. Just seeing North Carolina on the map, and just the whole concept, the whole vibe. I like the sound, I like the swag. I mean, you know, the baby, they deliver. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen in the Hip Hop Awards. Let me tell you this, man. You know who else I'm a fan of? You know, we just spitballing right here. I am a fan of Megan Thee Stallion. I mean, look, man, it ain't got nothing to do with, like, a lot of cats. Like, oh, Megan Thee Stallion, she bad. But don't get me wrong, man. Yeah, she a beautiful woman, man. I love the fact that she tall too. I just think that's dope. You know what I mean? She tall. You know what I'm saying? She got a build on her. But the whole thing about Megan Thee Stallion is not so much how she look and the vibe. Because, I mean, that's one thing about a lot of women rappers, man. It's got to be so much sex to it, right? Don't get me wrong. Hip-hop's got sex to it. I like sex. I like swag. I like that kind of confident vibe that we put out there. I love it. I mean, it's the BESTMANMADE stuff, right? But at the same rate, it ain't so much about that. I think it's the delivery. I think it's a vibe that you catch with her that's on something else, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can even look at WAP when she's doing her whole thing with Cardi, and you can see a difference of, like, presence. Don't get me wrong. Cardi is no joke. I'm like, Cardi, when I think about Cardi, I think about where she came from and where she is now, and I love that. That story and the way she developed herself has just made her that much more fascinating as a person. But at the same rate, Cardi still represents and still has that vibe of, like, like when you single or something, it might be dope. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. Maybe when you get a little bit older, you just kind of like, yeah, you know. Maybe when you have a daughter, you're like, I don't know if I really want you to listen to Cardi or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. I don't know. I ain't trying to make no judgment call. All I'm saying is there's a lot of different personas out there, right? And I feel even though I get it, Megan Thee Stallion has done some similar things as a lot of the ladies in hip hop, it's still a different vibe. I don't even know how I'm really trying to say that. You might know what I'm saying if you really look at it. But I love that. I love her, man. I'm also, of course, very excited about my guy J.Cole. I think J.Cole has done well. I really like his video, Middle Child, even though it's so basic. My brother's is pretty close to him and his team. And the guy Mez, I think he knows, that shot the video for Middle Child, did a heck of a job, yo. Even though it's like kind of simple, you know me, I like shadows, I like darkness. You look at Let's Get Made and you see I use the shadow and the light. I like that play, right? I think that's always really dope, and he did great with that. But there's this one scene in Middle Child. If you get a chance, let me see if I can put a little link in the description box. But if you get a chance, go to the video, and there is a scene with the all-woman band, right? And they playing, the lightning and whatever's going, and you see it light up. And they got this one scene of your girl with the fronts. That one scene, the way the angle shot from the bottom up, and she got the fronts and she's giving you all that. That feels like hip hop. That feels like the South. It feels confident. It feels sexy. It's all that in 1 second. That's why I say the big picture, right? See, I bring it back to an image. That's your boy back being visual for you people. But I love that. I love how they capture that. So small things I get excited about. Hands down, I'm pretty sure that if they overlook the best hip hop artists right now, I'm gonna tell you, I don't see how you can. But let's be honest. I don't. If you don't agree, then that's on you. I like disagreeing. I think we should have this little conversation. We should do these things live because I want to be able to see what you're saying. But the best hip hop artist right now, I think hands down, is Drake. I mean, no matter how you look at it, Drake has just created hit after hit after hit. I mean, the dude has so many hits. I mean, it's ridiculous. Whether you want to hate him or not, it's on you. But I love the fact that he's done this and not had to fit a mold, right? My man ain't tatted all up. He ain't even. A lot of these cats, if you ain't tatted up or got tats on your face, I don't know why you hit, or if you're not popping pills, he ain't doing literally none of that mess. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little bit different. And I just like the fact that he stepped out on his own, got his own vibe. J.Cole, same thing in that sense. But don't get me wrong, man. I still get excited about Gunna. I still get excited, like I said, about the baby, little baby, the baby, all the babies. There's a lot of things that I like in hip hop right now. That's crazy. One of my favorite, I think. Best lyricist. Best lyricist right now, I got to tell you, is none other than Big Sean. Oh, my God. I think bar for bar, Big Sean. You might say Kendrick Lamar, dope. But Big Sean, man, I just, something about him, I don't know. In any case, I'm excited to look for the BET Hip Hop Awards on October 27th. Maybe we could do a live stream on that. That'll be really dope. I'll be like a companion watching it with you. You know what I'm saying? Get you some nice popcorn. We'll enjoy our time together. Not only am I looking forward to that, there's one other thing I'm looking forward to. You already know I'm a boxing fan. We got to talk about this. I hope me and my homeboy Overtime Chris can do more on this or something. But the Tyson Roy Jones fight. When is it? November 29th, I believe it is. The Tyson Roy Jones fight. I am super excited about this. For one, I was excited when I saw Mike Tyson training and he looked good out there. I was like, good God, this dude's ready to go ahead and just go to work. I ain't seen much from Roy Jones. I don't know. But Roy was a heck of a fighter when he fought until Tarver just had his numbers a little different. But I think Tyson has taken this seriously, and this is really because after I saw heard his interview with Joe Rogan, if that didn't get you excited about what Mike Tyson could do, you're missing out. If you haven't heard it, look for Joe Rogan's podcast or episode with Mike Tyson. Oh my God. When Mike Tyson said he gets an erection from boxing, from fighting, man, who in their right mind would want to fight? For one, Mike Tyson, but knowing that Mike Tyson is getting excited in the fight, that's a whole different mentality. Look, Mike Tyson said that fighting, and he's saying it seriously, like he knows this is a problem, is orgasmic for him. Look, people, I ain't making this up. Go check it out if you hadn't heard it already. That makes you want to see somebody fight. I got to be honest, because you just like, man, my man is. First you might say, oh man, he going to work, man. Look how he doing this thing. But now you might be like, man, he going to work. Like he getting a little too excited about this. You know, now I'm trying to look for it. So this is a whole different situation, whole different scenario. Listen, people, that's been about my time. And I'm gonna tell you this like I've always said, man. Listen, there's going to be a lot going on for the rest of this year. I hope you get out and vote. I'm tired of hearing everybody saying get out and vote. If you don't already know that you should get out and vote, something wrong. If you don't want to vote, that's on you. You don't care about your life, don't care about the world you live in. Get out and vote, people. Because The only time you really can't vote is when you're underage, when you're young, when you're like a little boy, like a child. And as we all know, right here, right now, on Best Man Made, boys are born, but men are made. We'll see you next time.